In today's episode of Why Nintendo Sucks, in an effort to remove any competition possible from their stagnant Pokemon franchise, they have patented the concept of summoning characters to fight for you. That's on top of patenting rideable creatures, and that's on top of patenting throwing captured devices. Pokeballs, basically. But that's in Japan. The fact that patents that broad were allowed to pass is absurd. I cannot word the amount of disgust I feel for these patents. And while it would seem like these patents were made in direct response to Power World, they weren't. It was worse than that. They filed these patents in 2023, a year before Power World's explosion in popularity in 2024. They did it to protect Pokemon Arceus's gameplay style from everyone before Power World even had the chance to stand on its own feet, just in case. And no one knew anything about this until this week. Crazy! That just begs the question, what other patents have they issued without us knowing about? This wouldn't be the first time they've done this either. Pokemon Spawn Rate patent, Super Mario 64 patent, Legend of Zelda patent. Nintendo has a history of using legal might to bully its competition inside and outside of gaming. They are bullies that hide behind nostalgia, and I don't like any of it. Be fair. Do it honestly. Innovate to keep our attention. And if you can't, get the f*** out and let someone else step forwards. But yeah, that's gonna happen. Mr. Suntaro wants a new yacht. Why would he care about fairness and good competition? But fairness where it's due. Nintendo isn't the first to try to lock a concept behind a legal wall. Others have, and they've even succeeded. Like the infamous Warner Brothers Nemesis System patent. I weep to this day for that loss. But what you may not have known or even paid attention to is all the other video game patents that have been going around for decades now. Like the 1998 Namco loading screen minigame patent. They are the reason we have to stare at blank screens during load times. Thankfully, this patent expired in 2015, but we've all been conditioned not to expect anything from load screens at this point. That, or loading screens are almost non-existent with a high-powered PC. But what about other patents? Crazy Taxi's pointing arrow, patented by Sega in 1998. Mass Effect's dialogue wheel, patented by BioWare. Filed in 2007, issued 2011. Eternal Darkness's sanity system, patented. Unlocking secrets with a controller, patented. There are loads of them, sometimes even on physical things. Basically, anytime a company feels like they've come up with a unique design or mechanic, they feel the need to keep it to themselves to deny the competition. It's a smart tactic. But my god, is it shitty. And yes, these patents always expire, but that's decades later. And in the meantime, we get nothing from the patent holders in worst case. That is, looking at you, Warner Brothers. No one has the chance to innovate on them. And that's the real shame here. No progress. And by the time the legal wall falls, it's not culturally relevant or even remembered anymore. That's why the patent issuer wins for sure. If I can't have it, no one else will. Kind of thing. It's a true shame. I would pay good money to play a Nemesis system-style Pokemon game. Hell, I would even love to play an Arkham-themed Nemesis system-style game, which the potential for that happening are always there, as WB owns both, but it's WB, and they're more interested in peddling live service garbage like Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Morons! It's like watching a man starve to death while sitting on a pile of food. They have so many famous IPs with huge inbuilt fan bases, and yet they don't use them. And even when they do, and they get everything they would want from it, they still fail. But I'm getting sidetracked here. Patents. I don't like them. This isn't like how console companies have exclusive franchises to try to draw consumers in. They are instead hoarding away potential to gain an edge. And while I doubt we will ever see the day someone tries to patent something basic like the jump, I just can't help but wonder how far will patents go in gaming. This Nintendo thing seems to be the most outrageous one I've seen so far. I really do hate this. As if Pokemon needed any more excuses to be lazy when there's literally nothing else around to challenge it. I doubt Palworld will ever reach the heights Pokemon has, but it has been a home run indie game that's become sort of a bastion for the more jaded Pokemon fans. In a way, no. It has shown what we already know, that the Pokemon formula can be improved upon. It's just that Nintendo, or maybe Game Freak, doesn't want to, as it doesn't need to. At some point, something grows so large and becomes so intertwined with our culture that it can't fail anymore. It can afford to just float by, unchanging for years, entirely ignore any controversy it gets itself into, and to dismiss the anger as a small group of haters as compared to their hundreds of millions of fans that they have. But that may have changed now thanks to Palworld. Not to the point where I would call it a crack or even a chink, but whatever it was, people have noticed now that there can be more than what was given to us by Pokemon so far, which will never be given to us. So much potential never to be realized, and won't be until the 2040s when yet another one of Nintendo's patents expire. F*** you, Nintendo, and whoever else uses patents to get ahead for that matter. I will never support something I consider to be unfair competition, that is these patents. This has been Andy William Mackai. Mackai Lorien, out.